Hola, señores y señoras. It is my pleasure to come to Vtech and to talk to you about the social data revolution, and that ultimately there is no magic. It really is, what do you do with the data you have? Now, the perspective I want to share with you is the perspective of the book that I'm writing called Data for the People. And the companies you work for, how do you create a perspective so your consumers, your customers are more than happy to share data with you, data which you can use for them, not against them? And there are 5 principles. The first one is, you want to give them access to their data. And I know it's a bit tricky sometimes. What does it mean to be somebody's data? For me, that means data they created and shared with you, or data that is about them, where they are involved. The second right is the right to amend their data. So if there's something they want to tell you about data they have, then you should let them do that. You should make it easy for them to help you. So in some way, the first one might be data of the people, and the second one is data by the people. Of course, to make it data for the people. Now, there are 3 more rights. The first of the 3 is the right to blur. So for example, here I'm at the University of California at Berkeley just before class. I don't mind you knowing exactly where I'm sitting. Or when I get some pizza in the evening, I want the pizza delivery person to know exactly where I am. On the other hand, when I'm in Sao Paulo, well, maybe I don't want everybody to know exactly where I'm hanging out in the evening. It might be enough to just know that I'm somewhere in this part of Sao Paulo. That is the right to blur, where the individual should determine the granularity of the data. The fourth one is the right to play. For Brazilian people, the right to play should be easy to understand. So you want to be able to play with your data, to imagine different scenarios. What if the data you had was different about me? How would that change the products I'm getting? Let's think about Amazon, Amazon.com. If I had not bought that book, but had bought another book, how would that affect the recommendations I'm getting? And then the 5th right is the right to port. The right to port my data. The right to take my data and make a copy and bring it somewhere else. But not just the right to see it and do a screenshot, but the right to an API key, if you will. So I want to be able, to provide me with the data so I can have another company look at the data, analyze the data, and create value for me. And I ultimately want the user to be in charge of voting with their feet, voting with their mouse, voting with their phones about what really is the benefit they get. That's what I mean with data for the people. No magic, but what matters is what you do with it. Looking forward to seeing you in Sao Paulo.